Over the past decade, China has transformed from a relatively minor import destination to the largest shrimp market globally. This surge in demand has impacted global markets, prompting major producers like Ecuador and India to increase production to meet China's growing import needs. At the same time, China's vannamei shrimp production has experienced substantial growth over the past 2 decades, solidifying its position as the leading producer of vannamei shrimp in the world. Given China's critical importance in the global shrimp market, there are growing concerns that its import demand may have peaked due to robust domestic production. However, fears surrounding a stagnation in China's import demand may be overstated. Economic growth, measured in real GDP, has been a key driver in boosting domestic shrimp production and import volumes in China. Despite being the largest producer and importer of shrimp, China's per capita shrimp consumption remains relatively low, suggesting potential for growth as per capita GDP increases. Over the last 2 decades, China's vannamei shrimp production has more than tripled, reaching an estimated 2.325 million metric tons. The growth in production has been steady and strong, growing at a consistent rate of 4.7% annually over that period. In contrast, China's import demand has surged rapidly over a much shorter time frame. China's annual shrimp imports failed to exceed 100,000 metric tons until 2015, but they surpassed 1 million metric tons just 8 years later. This remarkable growth in China's vannamei shrimp production can be largely attributed to the country's expanding economy. The relationship between China's annual vannamei shrimp production and real GDP reveals a strikingly strong correlation. The relationship between shrimp imports and GDP is more complex. From 2008 to 2017, a strong positive relationship emerged. However, the coefficient was relatively small, meaning that while there was a positive relationship, substantial changes in GDP were needed in order to influence shrimp imports. Over the past decade, we've seen a change in this relationship. From 2015 to 2024, this relationship is strengthened, with the impact of changes in GDP on shrimp imports increasing by more than 12-fold. This means that even small changes in GDP are now having a much greater effect on shrimp imports, highlighting how economic factors driving China's shrimp supply chain are evolving. Extending the historical relationships observed and using GDP forecasts from S&P Global Market Intelligence, we anticipate that shrimp imports will continue to grow in the medium term, even amidst persistent increases in vannamei production. By 2035, we forecast that shrimp imports will reach 1.367 million metric tons. Although the rate of import growth may slow, this trajectory still offers significant opportunities for major shrimp-producing nations such as Ecuador and India, who rely heavily on the Chinese market. Following China, Ecuador and India are the two largest producers of vannamei shrimp globally and serve as the primary shrimp import sources for China. Over the past decade, China's increasing import demand has notably influenced the production of both Ecuador and India. Given our Chinese shrimp import projections, we anticipate a potential increase in production of over 200,000 metric tons in Ecuador and an additional 50,000 metric tons in India over the next decade, driven solely by China's import demand. In light of the slower growth trends in other major shrimp importing regions such as the United States and Europe, the optimistic outlook for China's imports offers a promising growth trajectory for shrimp operations in both Ecuador and India.